It's time to get spooky, my friends. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. It is my very, very first FranTastic review, and we are going to be talking about Halloween Ends. So if you guys have not seen that movie, come back and we'll have a chat together, man. Yes, this is my very first FranTastic review, dedicated to one of my biggest supporters, one of my biggest friends, one of the best people I've ever met, Fran. So, Fran, hopefully when you watch this, you have a big smile on your face, and yeah, this is for you. So, and we'll do more FranTastic reviews, by the way, because this isn't going to be the last one. But yeah, we're going to do Halloween Ends. So you've seen it, Edison?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, cool, perfect. Which I think I already knew, but just trying to break the ice a little bit, you know what I mean? But yeah, okay, so I just watched it last night. My thoughts. So I like the one thing I really like about this movie is that they really did a ballsy move for me, which was making the movie about Corey and like how the evil transferred from Michael to Corey, because they kind of spent like the first hour, like Corey's story is like a really tragic thing, like from the babysitter kid murder thing, him getting bullied at school, which the bullies were funny because they were like the band kids. Why are you letting the band kids bully you, bro? Like, real talk. But so they're bullying him. You know, he's getting beat up, which is true. Why are the band kids bullying anybody?
I also I thought it was hella funny how like whenever you saw them on screen, they were just like always in band uniform.
You know, he's like together and like trying to get beer. Like, it was
Yeah.
like they were just into shenanigans. Just weird. Yeah, and they were always like the guy with the drumsticks. You're the one that killed that kid, huh? Like, bro, you literally have drumsticks in your hand. Go back in the car, please. This isn't like, could they just not make them jocks? I just don't understand it. Like, why couldn't they just be jocks? It's more believable.
They just had like
the girl with the trumpet and the cello player, like, yeah, what are you gonna do, kid murderer? It's like, bro, what? So the story of Corey was tragic, right? So we get into that. Now, this is what I'm saying. Like, that is a ballsy thing to do for the end of the trilogy. The end of the trilogy isn't really even about Michael Myers. It's about this kid, and like that the idea that evil can pass from Michael to him, that was a good concept, if done in the second or first movie, right? Like, I don't know, bro, if this is really Halloween Ends and this is supposed to be the end, like, the movie, don't you think it should have focused more on Mike Oldison? Like, I don't know. Like, did they even explain how this guy... I watched the movie, right? But to me, they didn't explain how he survived the last movie. They didn't really explain how he got shot and beat with the bat, and like, because this kid Corey died. Like, Lori didn't have to like shoot him hella and stab him. Like, it's just like she shot him. The whole stabbing thing happened, right? But this guy, Michael, literally got packed out every way possible. He survived the last movie. They didn't really explain that. I mean, if they did, I didn't see it. Because to me, they didn't. So that was kind of like, okay, like how the hell did he survive all that from last movie? And he's just been hiding in a pipe somewhere under the bridge? Like, what does he do? Like that. I mean, I guess like it ruins the mystique of like Michael Myers, but for real, bro, like... I mean, they're trying to make this more of like a grounded, like he wasn't related to her. There wasn't no super. They literally said that before they made these movies, bro, that they weren't trying to go like the supernatural route. So that's the point. To me, like, it seemed like they were afraid to say it without saying it. Like when he passed the evil onto Corey and like he was still living, it's like, okay, clearly there's something happening here, but you guys didn't want to backpedal on your, you know, your supernatural route. So like you made it to where like Corey's like, I don't know. But hey, so like I said, I like that part. It was ballsy, but just not for this trilogy. Like, that's how you end the trilogy. I like how Lori, like, she saw it in him. She's like, oh, I've seen those same eyes in Michael before. Like, and so
yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. And so you had the whole town like doubting her. Like, she's known as like the freak. Imagine like this guy kills people and like hunts you down, and you're the fucking freak of the town. I mean, Haddonfield just is not it, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, no wonder, right? Like, you're letting band camp kids bully you. It's insane. But so another aspect of the movie that I really liked was just like the whole, the town's a small town, right? So everybody talks, everybody, you know, does their thing. And it seemed like with like the way they treated Corey, like they didn't care about the facts, right? They didn't care about Corey's side of the story. He's just, you murdered a kid, you're a murderer. Without like, hey, if he really did murder this kid the way you guys are saying it, like, do you think he would be just out amongst you? Like, I don't know. Like, that, to me, that was just like, You know, what did you think about the whole Corey thing? Like,
I think they fucked it up.
Like, did you not like it at all, or like, what was your thoughts on it?
I thought it was cool up until he had like his emo Maguire phase, where like now all of a sudden he's a killer and he's just riding a motorcycle with a leather jacket and
Standing up to people.
He has like like when that one scene when they're in the bar and that girl's ex like cop walks up to her and tries to talk to her, and then he just like angrily stands up and gets in his face. And yeah, once that they started going through like that stuff, it kind of like took me out of the movie. And then the fact that they killed him off was not a good decision in my opinion.
To kill Corey off?
Yeah, because if you spent the last movie of the trilogy building up his character arc, quote unquote, why would you just end it? Then what was the point of even doing that for this movie? You could have just had like Michael more.
Yeah, and like let's say this ends, he could have come back like in a fourth movie that has nothing to do with Laurie. Like Laurie's already dead, and now
that's what I was. I had that conversation with Ben where like I was saying if they're gonna end Michael and Laurie's story, that would have been good for this movie. But they could have continued the Halloween franchise with Corey, which is what it looked like they were setting that up for, and they could have just had him be the new killer obsession.
Well, couldn't the evil have passed on to someone else?
It could have. I thought that's what they were doing. I thought that's why they had him in a mechanic jumper. They had him with that scarecrow mask. Like that could have been a future thing, you know.
Yeah, and it would have made sense because it's like, oh, hey, Michael passed the evil onto him, and now he's the new boogeyman.
Yeah.
Right? Because what if like the boogeyman isn't like a person? It's the evil force that's within that person that transfers itself. Then that's a good concept.
That's what I thought they were.
So that concept is good. It's just the execution of it wasn't really my cup of tea. Right? So Corey has like this whole very tragic backstory. It's believable. We feel for you. You're right. And then he goes into emo mode and but the killing scenes though, they were good, bro.
Yeah, no, I liked all of them.
They were good as fuck, bro. Like the doctor and his like horror nurse, the guy's dad at the mechanic. I think it was the guy's dad, right? He was playing video games at the mechanic shop. Or they were at the tow yard. Mm-hmm. And then like the tow yard killings, the fire. When him and Michael teamed up against the doctor and the girl, fire, dude. Laurie, like, you know, like going upstairs and pretending to shoot herself, but it was the pumpkin, fire, dude. Like I'm saying, those scenes were good. Right? I just felt like, okay, if this is the trilogy ender and you're going to go this route, because a lot of movie makers wouldn't have done this, right? Like this is like a really big, in my opinion, this is like again, I keep saying it, it's a ballsy thing to do, right? Because do we just have the whole movie be Michael and make it like a typical, like what you guys think this movie is going to be? Because none of us thought this is what the movie was going to be, right? Like if you asked anybody, no one said that this, well, I think what they're going to do is have like a completely different guy for the first hour. Like, no, so it was cool. They kind of subverted our expectations on it. But yeah, so I don't think it's bad. I actually, so, you know, after talking to you and Kylie the other day, and because when she was telling me she watched it, and I asked her about it, she said she didn't think the movie was bad, and I was like, okay, so I don't think it is. After watching it, I was like, damn, a lot of people hated on it, but like the fact that they took a risk with that story, and it somewhat worked out. I was like, you know, bro, that's actually kind of cool because they could have just gave us Michael the whole 2 hours. Michael like surviving gunshots and it's like, yeah, but they didn't. Yeah. So, and Michael was like an old ass man too. Like they kind of showed his face a little bit. I'm glad they didn't show his full face because it kind of would have ruined the mystique of Michael Myers, you know, but he has a face. People have seen it. If they do continue from this story, I don't know how they would unless like the evil transferred to somebody, like, you know, it could have transferred into the daughter or her granddaughter or transferred into someone else. But I don't think this is the end. They're definitely going to reboot it. I thought it was funny too. Did you see that part where like Corey's mom slaps him and then she kisses him? It was almost like she was like that weird like mom syndrome where like they're like so anti-man except when it comes to their sons, and then they treat their sons like their man. Mm-hmm. Right, so that was. Did you see her kiss him?
They had
like that was kind of weird. Like she treated him like a boyfriend.
Yeah, like they had a good thing going with his story. I think that I don't know what happened. They just fucked it up.
And when he writes "psycho" on their car, and like which I thought it was greasy. Like at the first bridge scene where they throw him over the bridge, the guy's like, "I didn't throw nobody, bro. Like I didn't throw nobody." So you did. We saw you. Like I was just like I get it. This works better if they're jocks. It doesn't work being a drummer and a cello player. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. The cello player and the drummer are like killing people. Like that just doesn't. What high school have any of you writers been to? Like I'm sorry, but again, but if it was athlete bullies, they would have like typical jock bully. So like we don't win. There's no winning in this game. But yeah, but if you guys have seen Halloween Ends, comment below. I like the movie. For my first FranTastic review, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, bro. Honestly. Like I would, I'm kind of leaning on 6.5 out of 10, but yeah, let's just go with 6.5. So my official FranTastic review for this movie will be a 6.5 out of 10. If you guys want to comment your review below, let me know. If you don't like my number, by all means, tell me. You know what I mean? And we could talk about it in the comments. What would you review it, and what would you give it?
Probably the same. I was going to say 6. It had a lot of really good moments, but the bad moments were like just bad.
Like it felt like something was rushed.
Yeah, the relationship between Corey and Laurie's daughter was 100% fucking just. They were just trying to speed run that shit.
Yeah, and then I felt like the relationship between Laurie and her granddaughter could have been played on more. Like the girl just lost her mom in the last movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like so you not only are you having to stay behind in Haddonfield for your grandma, but you just lost a mom and like you're moving on with this guy. Like so things that could have been touched on a little, you know?
Yeah.
Evil's born in certain places that you wouldn't expect it, and that's something that I feel like Evil would latch itself onto. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in for the first FranTastic review. There will be more to come, and until next time, bye-bye.